I was standing right behind my wife. When she said it, I didn't make a scene. I just walked out forever. I was standing right behind my wife when she said it. She didn't know I was there. The music was loud. Glasses clinked. People laughed. And then I heard her voice. Soft, careless, dangerous. I never really loved him. The words landed like a blade between my ribs. She was talking to a man standing beside her at a friend's anniversary party. A man whose hand rested a little too comfortably on her lower back. I froze. Neither of them noticed me. He was just safe, she continued. A good choice. That's all. The man smiled. So why stay? She laughed quietly. Because leaving would cost me everything. I didn't make a scene. I didn't interrupt. I simply turned around and walked out into the cold night. And for the first time in 12 years of marriage, I started paying attention. The next morning, she kissed my cheek before work. The same way she always had. The same lie wrapped in the same routine. I watched her differently now. Every smile, every text message she hid when I entered the room, every late meeting, every unexplained absence, the signs were suddenly everywhere. Had they always been? Or had love made me blind? I wanted to believe I had misunderstood. Maybe I heard only part of the conversation. Maybe there was another explanation. But deep down, something had already shifted. Trust doesn't shatter all at once. It cracks, silently. Then one day you notice you're standing on broken glass. I said nothing. Weeks passed. I became a ghost inside my own life. I checked phone records, credit card statements, hotel charges hidden between ordinary purchases, a dinner receipt, a weekend reservation, a second phone number. Every discovery felt less painful than the last, because pain eventually transforms into something colder, calculation. Then came the message, one she accidentally left visible on her laptop. 3 words. I miss you. Not sent to me. The reply arrived seconds later. Soon, promise. I sat there staring at the screen. My pulse never changed. I wasn't angry anymore. Anger requires hope. I had none left, so I kept digging. Carefully, patiently, like a man excavating his own grave, until I found something worse than the affair. Something that explained everything. The man wasn't new. He had been there for nearly our entire marriage. 12 years, not months, years. I wasn't her choice. I was her shelter. The final proof arrived on a rainy Thursday. Photographs, bank transfers, messages stretching back more than a decade. Enough evidence to destroy every lie she had ever told. I printed everything, placed it neatly inside a folder, then waited. That evening she came home smiling. How was your day? I slid the folder across the table. Nothing else. No accusations. No questions. She opened it. The color drained from her face page by page. Her hands began trembling. I watched quietly. Finally she whispered, I can explain. I almost laughed. Explain what? 12 years? Thousands of lies? An entire life built on deception? I asked only one question. Did you ever love me? Silence. Long, terrible silence. Then she looked down. That was answer enough. The next move had already been planned. Weeks earlier, before she knew I knew, before she suspected anything. My finances were separated. The house was listed. The legal paperwork was complete. Every exit prepared. Every detail calculated. She spent the next hour crying, begging, apologizing. But the strange thing about betrayal is this. The moment truth arrives, love often leaves with it. I felt nothing. Not hatred, not revenge. Nothing. I stood up, picked up my keys, and headed for the door. She followed me, panicked, broken, calling my name. For the first time in years, she sounded afraid. Not of losing me, of losing what I provided. The difference mattered, and she finally understood that I knew it. The rain was falling when I reached my car. Behind me, I could hear her crying. Once that sound would have destroyed me. Now it was only noise. I sat in the driver's seat and looked at the house. The house I paid for, the marriage I believed in, the life that never truly existed. People think heartbreak is explosive. It isn't. The worst kind is quiet. It arrives silently, then removes every illusion one by one. I started the engine. She stood frozen in the doorway. A stranger wearing my wife's face. I drove away without looking back. Because some betrayals don't deserve forgiveness. They deserve absence. And the cruelest thing I ever did wasn't exposing her lies. It was letting her spend the rest of her life knowing she lost the only person who ever truly loved her.